welcome to Anime Recaps. In this video, we will explain Zankyou no Terror. This anime tells the story of two teenagers who terrorize the Tokyo government by blowing up the Tokyo government buildings. They took this action as revenge for what the government had done to them. What actually happened to them? And will they succeed in taking revenge on Tokyo's government? Let's find out in Zankyou no Terror. Zankyou no Terror begins with two teenage boys named 9 and 12, who have just stolen an atomic bomb prototype from a Japanese government laboratory. The police found a video of two teenage boys terrorizing and planning to blow up a government building 6 months later. They appeared with the masks and referred to themselves as the Sphinx, none other than 9 and 12. However, the police did not take the video seriously and thought they were two unworkable young people who wanted to create a sensation in cyberspace. The next day, 9 and 12 put a lot of bombs inserted in stuffed toys all over the Tokyo Metropolitan Government building. However, before that, the alarm was sounded so that the building occupants were evacuated. When the building exploded, there were no casualties, and most people thought that the attack was carried out by the enemy from another country, although no one knows the motive and purpose of the building explosion. The action of 9 and 12 is not entirely smooth. They get caught by a young girl named Lisa Mishima, who is none other than their schoolmate. They give Lisa a choice whether to die with the bomb they detonate, or become their accomplice. In the end, she chose to keep her mouth shut about the incident and became their gang. But actually, Lisa didn't join 9 and 12 just because she was threatened with death. She has no desire for life after her relationship with her mother was strained, so she decided to work with 9 and 12. On the other hand, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government building explosion caused an uproar throughout the world. The entire Japanese police carried out an investigation until a doctor claimed that the perpetrator of the explosion was definitely not a random person, but a brilliant people because the planning of the bombing was very careful, and they knew the pillars of the building structure that made the building collapse with the explosion. 9's and 12's action did not stop there. A few days later, they started setting bombs at the police station disguised as food delivery officers. After that, they re-released the video as the Sphinx and gave puzzles to reveal where the location of the next explosion was. Police officers work hard to unravel the riddle of the Sphinx and instead guess where the next bomb is. In the end, after the police failed to solve the puzzle in the allocated time, 9 detonated the bomb previously placed at the police station. The police chief began to despair and was angry because he felt that the honor of the police was trampled on by two teenage figures with the pseudonym Sphinx. He finally assigns an intelligent detective named Kenjiro Shibazaki to help uncover the case. Shibazaki already has experience in uncovering even the most improbable cases. Interestingly, 9 seems to have been waiting for him to appear involved in this case. A few days later, the Sphinx released a video containing a puzzle with a challenge for Detective Shibazaki to solve. As they expected, Detective Shibazaki quickly answered the riddle and released it through a live video broadcast on national television. The location of the next bomb, which was apparently located in a temple, was finally revealed. The revelation of the case does not worry 9 and 12. Instead, they watch the success of the police and Detective Shibazaki with happy smiles. But on the other hand, the disclosure of the case actually made the police act more confident. In a live broadcast on television, Detective Shibazaki poses a challenge to the Sphinx, which leads 9 to hack into the police database. After successfully hacking the data belonging to the police, the next Sphinx video was released. Even this time, the Sphinx still challenged Detective Shibazaki, even though they warned that no one else would help. The puzzle this time is not so easy to solve by the detective. He could only solve it a few seconds before the detonator activated. But even though he has managed to solve the puzzle, the Sphinx still considers it a failure because he gets help from the police. For this reason, 9 and 12 released Japanese police investigation data to the general public online. This incident made the police feel that their dignity was trampled on. Moreover, the police realized that, after all, the Sphinx was always one step ahead and might be nearly unbeatable. So, in the end, the United States, which has been following this case for some time, sent an intelligence agency led by a beautiful female officer. 9 and 12's following terror plot don't go smoothly. After the Sphinx released its 5th video, there was for the first time a counterattack from US intelligence agencies that almost made a plan to blow up a train fail. The plot twist appears in the next scene when it is revealed that the woman who is the leader of the United States intelligence agency is 9 and 12's childhood friend, 5. 5 has a plan of hers to uncover 9 and 12's terror, in which she disguises herself as the Sphinx and sends riddles that lead them to the airport. Apparently, she intends to blow up the airport to make all Japanese people hate the Sphinx terror act. The situation was reversed, where this time 9 and 12 tried to prevent the bomb from exploding at the airport. They take Lisa to the airport, and 9 finally realizes that 5's puzzle is a continuation of the chess game they used to play when they were kids. The airport area became a chessboard with bombs already placed at strategic points. With the help of Lisa, 9 and 12 try hard to beat 5 in the game of chess and finally manage to prevent the bomb explosion. 1 week after the terror at the airport, Detective Shibazaki began to secretly investigate the case. He was determined to find the Sphinx's identity but instead discovered that all the top brass from the buildings that were previously blown up were members of the Rising Peace Academy. He then revealed that 10 years ago, Rising Peace Academy had a project called Athena's Project, where everyone involved in the project currently serves as a high-ranking government official. He investigates the Rising Peace Academy and finds almost no meaningful clues before finally meeting Lebon. Lebon apparently knew about the Athena project. In fact, he had previously joined the project. With Shibazaki's insistence and threats, Lebon finally reveals everything about the Athena project run by Rising Peace Academy. Athena's project aimed to create humans with above-average abilities by using orphaned children as experiments. But the experiment failed because the drugs used killed the children. 9 and 12 are 2 children who managed to escape before the entire trial process was completed. Meanwhile, 5 was the only child who survived after going through all the trials, and she was taken to the United States. So it can be concluded that 9 and 12's acts of terror are actually revenged against the Rising Peace Academy group running the Athena project. It was revealed that Athena's project was led by a professor named Mamiya, who at that time controlled the running of the government behind the scenes. It doesn't take a long time. Shibazaki met Professor Mamiya at his house. He said he came to represent the 26 orphans who disappeared. On the other hand, 5 kidnaps and holds Lisa hostage to get 9 and 12 out of hiding. This situation breaks 9 and 12's relationship, as 12 apparently secretly has feelings for Lisa and decides to save her instead of carrying out a final terror plot. 9 begs him not to go, but he insists on following Lisa to a playground. 5 attaches a bomb to Lisa and places it on the Ferris wheel. Even though 12 arrived on time, it was almost impossible to defuse the bomb on Lisa in such a short time. Finally, 5 offers to 12 to reveal the location of the last bomb detonation if he wants her to turn off the bomb detonator to save Lisa. In the end, 12 chooses to save Lisa and leaks about their plans and the location of 9's hideout. Elsewhere, officers have come to the location where the bomb was hidden. 9 immediately knew that 12 had betrayed and ran away from the location with a hail of gunfire from officers. Unexpectedly, he apparently did not run to hide but came to the police station to turn himself in. At the police station, 9 wears a Sphinx mask and says he has turned himself in front of the police, who pointed a gun at him. The news of the Sphinx who had surrendered became big news worldwide. 12 was devastated and saddened by 9's capture, and 5 felt the same shattered feeling. In the police interrogation room, 9 refuses to talk about the previous case and instead asks the government to hold a press conference in front of the media if they don't want an atomic bomb to explode in Tokyo. The government had no choice but to obey 9's orders and hold a press conference. At the same time, 9 is about to be removed from the police station when 5 attacks to free 9. 12 apparently has the same plan and tries to free him ahead of 5's plan. Chase and gunfight ensued, and finally, 9 was free because of 5. 5 then walked up to 9, revealing that she had only wanted to beat him, even though she had never succeeded. At that time, it was revealed that Athena's project had its own effect where 5's life would not be any longer. After saying all that, 5 approached 9 to kiss him on the lips, then blew up the car not far from her, and she died. Meanwhile, the press conference which was supposed to be held by the government failed, so that the detonator of the atomic bomb exploded automatically. 9 hijacked mass media across the country to display videos he had previously made. He takes off the Sphinx's mask in the video, shows his face, and says goodbye. The Sphinx's video and the news that an atomic bomb is about to explode creates panic throughout the city. Even though 9 only put the atomic bomb on the cloud so that it will not kill the townspeople but only turn off all use of electronic objects. When the atomic bomb exploded, darkness enveloped the entire city of Tokyo, and an aurora began to appear because of the effect of the explosion. The next day, 9, 12, and Lisa met at the origin of the Athena project when Tokyo was deserted as if it had become a dead city. In that place, they played around like normal teenagers, forgetting everything that had happened to them. As night falls, Shibazaki comes to the venue and tells 9 and 12 about his plans to reveal Athena's project to the public. Only as a condition, he asked 9 and 12 to surrender themselves peacefully. 9 and 12 agree to the terms, but at the same time, military helicopters come to surround the place. One of the helicopters shot 12 in the chest, which immediately made 9 angry and said that peace was not for them. He then threatened to detonate an atomic bomb he still left in the city center, but Shibazaki stopped him and stopped the military violence that was about to shoot 9. Another surprise happened again because 9 suddenly fell unconscious, just like 5. He experienced the effects of Athena's project. The scene moves to 1 year later, when the media is already buzzing about the Athena project, and everyone involved in the project is arrested. Zankyou no Terror ends by showing Lisa and Shibazaki praying in front of the graves of children who were victims of the Athena project, including 9 and 12. The moral that can be learned from this anime is about a greedy project that sacrifices many people, including innocent children. In addition, the sad story of 9 and 12's revenge efforts can provide its own moral message that acts of terror and violence are not the way to revenge.